Hi, I'm David Barton of Wall Builders. Wall Builders is an organization dedicated to presenting America's forgotten history and heroes with an emphasis on our moral and our religious and our constitutional foundations. We have here a library of some 100,000 originals or copies of original documents, such as this very interesting World War II poster we just obtained. This is a poster printed by the U.S. government to raise money for the war effort to defeat the Nazi and the Axis powers. Now, look at this poster. It's a Nazi hand stabbing the Bible, and the caption says, "This is the enemy." Wow. This is a clear message from the federal government. The Bible and what it stands for is under attack. We have to stand up and push back. This is amazing, especially considering where we find ourselves today. The president behind all of this was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The message in this poster he had been delivering to Americans for years. For example, in 1940, as the Nazi wave was beginning to sweep across Europe, President Roosevelt reminded Americans, if the Spirit of God is not in us, and if we will not prepare to give all that we have and all that we are to preserve Christian civilization in our land, we shall go to destruction. A month later at Madison Square Garden, he told the assembled crowd, "We guard against the forces of anti-Christian aggression which may attack us from without, and the forces of ignorance and fear which may corrupt us from within." 6 months later, he reaffirmed that the conflict raging in Europe was one between Christianity and its opponents, and that America would stand on the side of Christianity and the Bible.
Today, the whole world is divided between human slavery and human freedom, between pagan brutality and the Christian ideal. We choose human freedom, which is the Christian ideal.
And shortly after America entered World War II, President Roosevelt told Congress,
"The world is too small to provide adequate living room for both Hitler and God." In proof of that, the Nazis have now announced their plan for enforcing their new German pagan religion all over the world, the plan by which the Holy Bible and the Cross of Mercy would be displaced by Mein Kampf and the swastika and the naked sword.
and there were other similar speeches. So this poster is simply a portrayal of what President Roosevelt had been reminding Americans for year after year in speech after speech. And while we're here in the library, let me show you some other World War II posters also printed by the federal government. For example, here's one about peace and security, and it shows the three wise men at the birth of Christ. This one is built around preserving our religious liberties. And then look at this one. It has a quotation from a speech given by President Roosevelt's Vice President, Henry Wallace. It says, "Strong in the strength of the Lord, we who fight in the people's cause will never stop until that cause is won." And here's one with a picture of President Roosevelt with a family gathered together beside a cross. Then look at this one. It has a direct quote from the Lord's Prayer as taught by Jesus to His disciples in Matthew 6:13. It says, "Deliver us from evil." There were other posters as well, and we have these and other posters on our website. These posters certainly show us much about America's religious heritage and how far from it we've moved in recent years. If you want to support Wall Builders' efforts to present our forgotten history and heroes, and to preserve our moral, religious, and constitutional heritage, then go to www.wallbuilders.com. God bless.